Most people believe that the longer your truck runs, the more money you make. If a flatbed driver plans properly, with the right loading time, right customer, and with right routes, he can do easily 2 loads on a daily basis. Each load could earn him 500 dirhams a day. UAE to Oman route doesn't have major border issues. The actual delay happens at loading and offloading point with cargo clearance and train availability and site clearance. Most people believe that the longer your truck runs, the more money you make. But in flatbed trailer business, this logic often fails. Today we are going to compare local UAE trips with UAE to Saudi and UAE to Oman and compare and see which routes pays high. Hello everyone, this is Syed with OpenFR8. Let's break it down. Let's start with local UAE routes inside the UAE. If a flatbed driver plans properly with the right loading time, right customer and with right routes, he can do easily 2 loads on a daily basis. Each load could earn him 500 dirhams a day. And for a daily basis, if he does like 2 loads, it would be precisely 1000 dirhams a day. And if you summarize it with 30 days on a month, it would give like 30 days into 1000 dirhams on a day. It would be 30,000 dirhams. So if you factor in the cost like wear and tear, minor expenses like 5000 dirhams on a monthly basis, you would still get 25,000 dirhams on a month. But let's stay realistic. Drivers take leaves, truck goes for workshop, and some days business are not that great. So typically, if you factor in all these factors, still a flatbed driver who runs to local UAE can earn 15,000 dirhams on a monthly basis. So local net would be 15,000 dirhams. Now let's talk about the popular longest route of GCC, that's UAE to Saudi. Typically, a flatbed driver earns 3,500 dirhams for a trip for Riyadh or Dammam, and if the return load is available, he can easily earn 1500 dirhams. So if you summarize it on a round trip basis, he would earn 5000 dirhams. Expenses: long distance fuel, border halt, maintenance, which would brings around 2000 dirhams on a trip basis. So if you factor in with 5000 minus of 2000, it would be 3000 dirhams net on a trip. Because of border waiting and turnaround time, a flatbed driver can realistically run 4 round trips on a monthly basis. So 4 round trip into 3000, the net income which he earned, which would bring like 12,000 dirhams on a monthly basis for UAE to Saudi. If there is no backhaul, we consider a driver can run 6 one-way trips. A trip of 3,500 dirhams on a gross, and with the expense of 1,500 dirhams, if you deduct it, he would still earn 2,000 dirhams on a trip basis. So 6 trips into 2,000, which would bring like 12,000 dirhams on a monthly basis. Different strategy, but same income. Now let's move to UAE to Oman. Before giving you the rates, we would need to clarify a major misconception. UAE to Oman routes doesn't have major border issues. The actual delay happens at loading and offloading points with cargo clearance and crane availability and site clearance. Each trip roughly takes 2 days. So if we summarize that, like on a monthly basis, 15 trips should happen, right? But it's not realistic. With the delays at loading and offloading points, we can have an accurate number of 10 trips on a monthly basis. So a trip can earn you 1500 to 1700 dirhams with the expense of 500 dirhams on a trip basis. So let us summarize it. If you earn 1500 dirhams minus of 500, you would be getting 1000 dirhams on a daily basis. If the market is good, if you earn like 1700 dirhams, 1700 dirhams minus of 500, you would still earn 1200 dirhams on a daily basis. So if you multiply it with 10 trips on a monthly basis, 10,000 dirhams to 12,000 dirhams is the actual realistic number for UAE to Oman. Would like to add one more critical point is that from Oman, the backhaul loads are very scarce. So typically a driver can earn only up to 10,000 to 12,000 dirhams a month, even if it's done like round trip or a one-way trip. Now let's have a side-to-side comparisons. UAE local routes earn 15,000 dirhams on a monthly basis, whereas UAE to Saudi earn 12,000 dirhams on a monthly basis. And with UAE to Oman, it earns like 10,000 to 12,000 dirhams on a monthly basis. So the data says something very interesting. Local routes earns more and long haul routes earns less. But still, why drivers prefer to do cross border? So let's dive in deep to know the dynamics. Profit doesn't run the business, but cash flow does. In local routes, the business require credit. Ideally, customers ask for credit terms between 15, 30, and sometimes 90 days. But in cross border, the most of the payments are done through cash basis. When the loads deliver, the driver is paid. That's why most drivers prefer to do business on cash based model. That's why they can sustain in the business and they can move the wheels in the next day. This is a real lesson we get from the flatbed business, that local trips are profitable, long haul trips are liquid. So the business operator doesn't think which lane gives him more profit. He would ideally think which route will keep his wheels moving tomorrow. Thank you for watching.